Jeremy, good morning.
Good morning to you, Stephanie. Thanks for having me.
It is so wonderful to hear a friendly, familiar voice, even though I'm not allowed to see your face for real and close up. It has been a strange year.
It has been. You are allowed to see my face. I have been known to post pictures of myself on something called social media.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Look into it. I will send you some info.
Okay.
Yes, no, of course. Super strange. I mean, especially for people like you and me. I mean, we've known each other for a couple of years now, and we're people, right? People persons.
Yep.
And we love being with people and hanging out with people. And, you know, we love art and culture and theater and music and rock and roll. And that all usually requires, you know, it's always best live in person, isn't it?
Yep.
If there's roadblocks, if there's curveballs, you know, you've got to think outside the box. You've got to get creative, and you've got to do those things in a different way. So, you know, with you at the radio station, maybe more people are listening to the radio, so that's great. You know, get your music that way. If you can't see it live, you know, listen to WRKR. And if you love Farmers Alley and you can't go to the actual theater space, we're going to try to bring our theater to you, and we've been doing some online events to do just that. And this is a way to bring Farmers Alley to your living room rather than bringing the people to Farmers Alley. If that makes sense.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting because we are very much entrenched in the theater scene. You obviously are behind Farmers Alley. You created your own theater. I have been on stage and backstage since I was 11. Part of me feels like it is on pause right now because we can't do the theater the way that we're used to doing it. But there are some people that theater is more of an annual event. It's more of a traditional event. So you'll have people that only see the ballet for Nutcracker. You will have people that only come to the theater to see things like A Christmas Carol or whatever the big holiday show is that the Civic will be putting on. You at Farmers Alley, you guys always do something for the holidays, and this year is no different. It's just going to feel a little different because you're bringing it to the virtual platform through this social media you were discussing before.
That's right, this new thing called social, on the interwebs.
On the interwebs, yes, exactly. So, and it's Home for the Holidays. Tell us a little bit about this.
So Home for the Holidays is basically a love letter to our home and everything that word means, right? Mostly regarding Kalamazoo. I mean, that's where our literal home is. That's where Farmers Alley is located. Farmers Alley is some of us claim it to be our artistic home, right? And then we're also tying in homegrown talent and homegrown organizations that lend themselves to the tremendous, wonderful, beautiful community that we live in. The homegrown talent is something I'm really excited about. You know, people like Jariah Kwame, who went to Loy Norris High School and went to Western Michigan University and was in our production of Avenue Q, and is now this amazing he's exploding on the songwriting scene. He's won awards like the Johnny Mercer Award. He wrote us an original song called Candy Cane Lane. So if you buy a ticket, you'll get to see this world premiere Jariah Kwame song called Candy Cane Lane. Nat Degree is another great example. Nat grew up here, and he went to Portage Northern High School. He performed on Farmers Alley stage, and we're presenting one of his original songs called Imagine This Season. And then other performers like Natalie Duncan, who went to Portage Schools, Jasmine, who was in the Kalamazoo, Jasmine Franklin from the Kalamazoo Public Schools, and then people like Sandy Bremer, you know, who used to live in Kalamazoo, moved away, came back, and is now so entrenched, director, choreographer, EFA, teaching artist. So it's things like that. And then tying in also, like I mentioned, those amazing organizations like Western Michigan University and Kalamazoo College, Outfront Kalamazoo, the Kalamazoo Promise, the Gilmore Keyboard Festival, Queer Theater Kalamazoo, the Kalamazoo Symphony Orchestra, all these organizations, and we may have a familiar face in there representing RKR in a very special reading of The Night Before Christmas.
I don't know who you could be talking about.
She's very talented. She's very charming. She's got a lot of energy. Her name is Stephanie. I don't know if it's the same Stephanie. I don't know if you know her, but
she sounds awful.
She's great. I love her. Stop talking bad about her. One of my favorite moments is my friend Greg Jaspers agreed to have his he's the director of Gold Company, the award-winning vocal jazz group at Western, and Gold Company sings a powerful a cappella version of John Lennon's Imagine.
Oh.
So that's a real power. Yeah, you're going to love that when you see it, I promise.
Okay, well, already, just thinking about it, I've got goosebumps.
And and using visualization, there's some really cool. It's a cool slideshow that Kathy Muley created, and I just think it's going to be super powerful. So I just think you're going to love it, and your listeners are going to love it, and I really, really would encourage everyone. And then, of course, there's other things to watch too. This is just a good compliment. You know what I mean? You got to see It's a Wonderful Life, and then also, there's not a lot of music in that, in these holiday movies. So get your music fix by watching Home for the Holidays through the 12th through the 24th through farmersalleytheater.com.
Farmers Alley. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you check out Home for the Holidays, the 12th through the 24th. Jeremy, thank you so much. Health and happiness to you and your family, and have a great new year. Hopefully we'll be able to talk more about live theater in 2021.
Oh, likewise. Thank you so much for having me, Stephanie. All the best to you and everybody at the BRKR and all your listeners. Happy holidays. Please watch Home for the Holidays, streaming the 12th through the 24th. Go to farmersalleytheater.com. Thank you, Stephanie.